Let's talk vector versus raster. Whenever you have a logo designed, you need to have a vector logo. The situations to where this most often is brought up is someone has paid, $50, $150 for a logo. They receive it, the person has designed it in Photoshop or something like that. They go to scale it or to use it in large print or on t-shirts, and they find that when they scale that logo, that it is pixelated. Or maybe they created it in a logo maker and didn't want to pay for the vector version, and they get a raster version. Again, they try to scale it, they can't use it. Someone wants a logo and they want it to be an image, like they actually want to use an image in their logo, and they go to scale it, and it becomes pixelated, it becomes blurry. So the reason why, if you think about a lot of bigger companies' logos, let's think about the KFC logo, for instance. The KFC logo, Colonel Sanders, it's like it's an illustration, right? It's not a picture, it's not a photo of him. And the reason for that being is that they need to be able to make signs of it, and they need it to be crisp on everything. They want it to look clean on everything. And vector can do that, raster cannot. So if someone wants to have a logo and they want to have an image in it, well, that actually can't be done if you want to scale it. It has to be illustrated. It has to be created in vector software like Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape or Corel Draw. A professional logo, a logo that will scale, will always be vector. So let me show you the difference between vector and raster and how this works. I've got here our logo. This is a vector file, okay? This is a vector logo. I can scale it however much I want. It will not lose quality. And I'll show you this even if I want to just zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in on this logo. You'll see right here, this is an SVG file, a vector file. And I can zoom in, and no matter how much I zoom in, it will never degrade. And the reason for this is that vector is just fill and strokes. So it's just lines with the fill inside of them. So as you expand something, that fill just takes up that space. It's not made up of pixels like a digital image. A digital image is made up of pixels. That's why, you have to have a certain resolution for each type of print or each project whenever you're using images. The difference we can see here, where we have a PNG version, so this will be a raster version. PNG or JPEG images, all of those are going to be raster images. And if I zoom in on this one, look, we're starting to get degradation. Look at that. Because it's raster. Raster images are made up of pixels, so as you expand them, the pixels can't just make up information, so instead they are showing up bigger and bigger and bigger, which makes the edges look not clean. Whereas a vector image, which is not even an image, a vector file, will actually just continue to expand because it's not made up of pixels. It's made up of fill and stroke. In our particular design here, we don't have a visible stroke, so these are just filled blocks. But either way, it doesn't matter what I do to them, they're always going to be clean. And then what we do from that point is, if you wanted image files out of it, you would then process from vector to raster for the appropriate size. Okay? Now, there'll be people who will attempt to take a Photoshop file and they'll save it as a vector format. Saving it as a vector format does not make it vector. If it's a raster image and you save it as a vector format, it's still a raster image. If you're having someone design your logo and you want it to actually scale and you want to be able to use it in all use cases, you really have to have a vector logo. I hope that this was informative.